All right, we do the Star Goddess podcast every Monday right here on the Crash and AJ blog at 98rock.com. AJ's out today. We'll be back for the next podcast, but good morning, Star Goddess.
Well, good morning to you. It's been a while since we've done this.
I know.
Had a couple of vacations. We had some mishaps.
Well,
I've been getting nasty phone calls going, hey, come on, where's the weekly thing? What's going on?
I need you to hook me up with my forecast, Star Goddess. Let me know how my week's going to go here.
I'm blind out here, yeah.
Everybody's been flying blind without the Star Goddess information.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the theme today?
Well, we have three things going on. Since we haven't chatted in a bit, the big thing this week is, of course, the new moon in Virgo. Okay. So that means finish up stuff you've worked on for the last 3 weeks or so. The reason the two other things are important is, number one, Mars, the planet of ego-oriented projection, is going backwards now. It went into Aries in July, which is when everything seemed to open up. And everything was going great for about 2 months, and now it's stopped going forward. It's going to go backwards. It will be backwards until November 15th. So the important thing to realize is that we all like to start a bunch of stuff, and then when Mars retrogrades, because we throw a whole bunch of stuff up on the wall, not all of it sticks, and during the retrograde, whatever is not working will fall off. And so the important thing to do with this energy is to realize that if the stuff falls off the wall, leave it off. Leave it out. Don't try and rehabilitate it. Don't try and put it back up there. But you want to look and find out what details of that are not working and how to make it work right. And the reason those two things are important is that the money faucet is back on. That's the biggest news of all, is that Jupiter, the planet of luck and abundance, has been moving backwards since April, which is pretty much when the economy went, yeah, we're done. And now at least that money faucet is back on so we can begin to go forward with things, which is very, very important. So what we're going to try and cover today is where those new starts are likely, where you'll have success, and where you want to just let it go by the wayside and wait to decide on that. So does that make sense? We have three things going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And just I'd like to stress that, a lot of people, when you said that you're working on something, this is not just like a home improvement project or anything like that. There's multiple different ways, relationship,
there are
work.
Different areas that you create things in, exactly. And that has to do with your rising sign and your zodiac sign as well, where that energy is. Astrology is really more of a timing. Astrology tells you what time something's going to happen. Yep. But the important thing is, like, where in my life in particular can I expect that to happen?
All right.
That's the important thing. And so for Virgos, because the sun is in their sign, it's all about the Virgo projecting their identity out into the world. It's all about the Virgo putting their wants and their needs at the head of the list. And normally Virgos are not big fans of doing that. Normally Virgos are like, oh, hi, we're here to support you. We're here to help you. We're here to improve you and make you better. But for the last month or so, Virgos have gone, I think I want to be a little selfish right now, and I want to go ahead and make things happen for me, and that gratify me. And so with Jupiter in their fifth house of love affairs, children, this all pertains to them in their intimate one-to-one relationships, their partnerships, their love relationships, and the relationships that they share with other people of an intimate nature. So that's really kind of where their focus has been. And they're trying literally to find out exactly where they stand in that relationship. They've been working on it probably since November or so. They were going forward in April and then went, I'm not so sure about that. Now they're sure it's time to go forward. So
well, it's funny you said that, because I believe I've got somebody who's got there's a Virgo in this question somewhere that I got recorded from right before we were doing the podcast here. Here's how the question went, and maybe you can give us a little prognostication afterwards. Here it goes.
What's my compatibility with my partner?
All right, your compatibility with your partner. Are you married to your partner? Is this a live-in relationship? No. You guys live together?
No.
No, okay. All right, so what are your birthdays?
Mine's December 2nd, 1958.
Okay.
And hers is September 5th, 1960.
What's the ride been like so far?
Butt heads, we don't agree on a lot of stuff. We kind of, it's bumpy.
It's bumpy. All right, there's a good adjective for your. Is that a
bumpy? That's a good adjective. Actually, the part about that relationship that works really well is the bumpy part. Okay. That's the part that works the best.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Virgos and Sagittarians don't get along as a rule because the Virgo is always trying to change the Sagittarian, always trying to improve the Sagittarian. And I don't know anybody that responds well to that, and Sagittarians less so than anybody else. So. Although I think there's a strong physical connection, they are going to argue for the rest of their relationship. And I just can't think of anything worse than being stuck with somebody that I argue with over whether the sun is coming up in the morning or not. It's that kind of a thing.
So everything's a debate, pretty much. It's a healthy.
Yeah, everything. Even worse is an argument, and even worse, it's the Virgo going, and this is what you were doing wrong, and the Sag is going, I didn't think I was doing so many things wrong.
Gotcha.
We Virgos, we like to say that that's product improvement, and what we Virgos never realize is really what you're saying when you're saying that is that you're not okay the way you are, and I don't know anybody that responds favorably to that.
Gotcha. Do you find as a Virgo, you find yourself doing that sometimes? I mean,
oh yes, and ask me why I'm single. Not a surprise. Guys go, yeah, you look great, and then they go, nah, never mind. Not so much. So yeah. And the only guy I ever married was a Scorpio, because they're about the only ones that can put up with that stuff.
Oh boy, there you go.
Yeah. Got to be honest about stuff like this. And there are men out there going, yeah, she's not lying. We know her.
Well, I can vouch for Star Goddess. She's a great lady, all right? So she might crack you into shape. You never know.
And I do like to do that. It's like, yeah, that's me. Again, hence the reason I'm single. For Libras, this is finishing up energy for them. Libras are finishing up stuff that they've been working on for a month or so. And they're not really ready to take that show on the road. They will be ready by Friday to do that. They will have all the information they need. They will be tired of staying in the background. And I got to tell you, for Libras everywhere, if you want to know what they think, they are going to tell you in no uncertain terms. Mars is opposing their sign, and they are ready for the fight. They really, really are. They're going to be surprised to find out that people they thought were allies end up being enemies, and people that they thought were enemies can actually be turned into allies for them. It all depends on how they handled themselves. But they can expect to be attacked on all sides, and out of all the signs of the zodiac, they are really the ones most capable of going, okay, bring it on. I can argue with you.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's kind of interesting for them. And really what they're trying to do is to get a really solid base of operations to operate out of. And I think they'll be successful at that. And I got to point out Kamala Harris. She's ready for the fight, and boy, are they going to give it to her.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, she's a Libra. For Scorpios, this energy is really very good energy for Scorpios in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And they are relying on their well-placed female friends and colleagues to help them get what it is that the Scorpio wants. So it's the Scorpio looking to manipulate the group to bring the Scorpio whatever it is that the Scorpio says that they want. And as a result of that, there's a lot of hard work in store for Scorpios. There really is. There's no taking a break between now and the end of the year for them. It is nothing but, hard out, just as hard as you can go to try and get that goal or objective. Because if they don't make it this time, it's going to be a while before that brass ring comes around again. And again, I got to look at Joe Biden being a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Saying, although I got to tell you, if I was him, I would stand back and say, she's right over there. Go ahead, you talk to her. Point to Camel and stick her on him. That's what I would do if I was him.
Yeah, she's afraid to. She does not hold her tongue at all. Doesn't look like.
Yeah, no. Oh, no. Even if she had the right to remain silent, she wouldn't be able to. For Sagittarius, this is great energy for them. It's in their 10th house of career and public standing. It's at the top of their chart, so they're looking for career success. They're looking for attaboys, pats on the back. You may not get more money, but at least you'll get the acknowledgement of grateful employers that go, thanks for doing a good job. We really appreciate you doing that. And a lot of it has to do with the Sagittarian indulging their own creativity and then transferring that into job that they do, where it is they do their job and how it is they do their job. So it's very, very positive energy for them. They have been in an incredibly productive time. The challenge for them is to finish what they start. Sagittarians go, yeah, why do today what I can put off till tomorrow?
Yeah, you've said that before about Sagittarians. That's a common thing.
Yeah, that's just how they are.
Well,
Again, it's not a negative thing. It's just, it's kind of like a mañana type of attitude. But for them, I have to tell you, this next week is very, I don't want to say it's critical, because it's not critical, but it's important. And they can really impress the powers that be with their action. Mm-hmm. And as a result, end up making more money. Because now the money faucet is on for them. Out of all the signs of the zodiac, Sagittarians have Jupiter in their second house of money. So this is earned income. This is not like, ooh, I'm going to win the lottery. This is, oh, look, hard work paid off, and I've got more money at the end of my month, which would be a great thing, because I know there are a lot of people in general, where that unemployment is running out, and they're going to have to find jobs. And Sagittarians in a very good position to get one now. So I would be very optimistic if I was a Sagittarian and I was looking for work, because that will probably work for them.
Okay.
For Capricorns, the money faucet is turned on in their sign. So all the way across the board, Capricorns are in a really, really good position right about now to get their wants and their needs met, to project what it is that they want out into the world. They're very, very well received. This new moon is in Virgo. It's in their ninth house of the law, so legal matters go well for them, educational matters, important matters at a distance, any kind of contracts, any kind of negotiations, any kind of back and forth with coming to terms will come to terms very favorable for the Capricorns. The only challenge for them with Mars in their fourth house of home is fights at home. And I think more along the lines of Capricorns have been home long enough to really see everything that needs to be done in the home, and they don't want to wait anymore for that to happen.
So I know a Capricorn
everywhere, I say.
I know a Capricorn who is going to fight a ticket right now. So is this a favorable time to go fight a ticket?
Yeah, I would fight it. Yes, I would. If I was a Capricorn, I would fight a ticket with details.
Okay.
You know, that's the kind of thing where you show up in court with the dashboard camera.
Okay.
You know, and say, here, I think that the law's on their side. And it's always worth fighting a ticket.
Right.
Always. You've got nothing to lose. It's not going to be worse. You're not going to get a worse penalty, you know, for fighting a ticket. And
gotcha.
Actually, one of my friends, a guy named Morgan, put together an app for fightthisticket.com kind of a deal, you know, to help you if you although I like lawyers, if you don't have one, there are ways you can find that information out. But if I was a Capricorn, I would fight a ticket.
Yeah,
they're likely to win that.
Apparently it was pulling out of his complex, and he put his seatbelt on as he was leaving the entrance of it, and a police officer saw him putting it on as he was leaving it, and he feels like he was probably kind of targeted on that whole thing. So.
Absolutely. Guy was looking for a reason to pull him over.
Yeah, there you go.
So, all of them. Yeah, go to court on. Absolutely, that's a he said she said thing.
Okay.
You know, and I would absolutely. I think he'll get a very favorable result with it. I would.
Okay.
Even without a lawyer, I think he'll get a good result just because he's a Capricorn and the law is on their side right now. So you have to like that, especially if they do it like Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
When the moon's in their sign. So for Aquarians, it's about other people's resources flowing their way. Aquarians have this new moon is in their eighth house of other people's money, other people's resources. So rather than looking for a new resource to tap, you want to look around at the resources you already have and go ahead and try and tap them and maximize them in one way or another. For Aquarians, they've got a bunch of stuff on their plate, a bunch of educational opportunities, short distance, short duration travel. Well, that is slowing down now to something that they can manage. So they're overachievers. Aquarians are a lot of times, and the things that they're trying to learn now will pay off. It's like getting some sort of a certificate or some sort of additional education. It's not like a master's degree or anything like that, but it's enough to get them a better position at work, which will come to be in December for them. So they have to take the long view of this and realize that what it is that they're doing now is like an investment in their own future, and it will pay off for them in spades come the December time span.
And
for Pisces,
that last sign there. That's in January, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, that's January.
Okay.
That is January 19th to February 19th
gotcha.
or so.
Okay.
So, and you can always spot them. They have a real high forehead because they're smarter than. They like to think that they're smarter than any other sign. Of course, Virgos would always argue with them, but allegedly it creates more genius than any other sign.
Gotcha.
Just saying.
Noted.
Yeah. Virgos. Our favorite words are, we were right. You don't even have to pay us if you tell us we're right. It's true. For Pisces, this is, I think, kind of challenging energy for Pisces because the sun is opposing their sign, and that means everybody's pointing at them going, you. It's that kind of a deal. And they're trying to work things out with partners. They have created a new kind of public image for themselves, and they're kind of trying it out and seeing how it fits. They're being a little more assertive, a little more aggressive, which is good because Pisces are not known to be a particularly assertive sign. So it's good that they're a little bit fired up. And the thing they're fired up about is how come I'm not making as much money as I should? I'm working really, really hard. I've done a really good job the last 30 days for you. Where is the remuneration? And I think that's a valid question for them to ask, you know, and if they really push it and present a good case as to why they should make more money, they can get a raise or an increase in money one way or the other.
Yeah, the money faucet, right? I get that. It goes back to the money faucet. Gotcha.
Yeah, it all gets back to the money faucet turning on. And thank God, because it's been off for 4 months. And I have to tell you, this has been, and whenever Jupiter retrogrades, it's not a good time. But for Jupiter to retrograde at the height of, the coronavirus and people losing their jobs and out of work and thinking, I'm going to be furloughed, and now they find out that they're fired, kind of a deal. It's a very scary time, in so many ways. So You want to try and work that out.
Mm-hmm.
For Aries, oh my God, Mars is in their sign and they're not backing down from any fight, even if they should. Aries is normally a fairly combative sign to start out with because they're ruled by Mars. And then you have Mars in their sign going backwards, and they're likely to irritate people without even knowing they've irritated people, without even trying to irritate people. It's that kind of a thing. And they have to be careful not to be aggressive, where being assertive will get you a much better response. And I think the difference between that is with a man, he's assertive. With a woman, she's aggressive.
Gotcha.
And I'm not quite sure why, but I just know that Aries are just not going to back down from any kind of fight, any kind of argument. And they're looking for professional success. They've been waiting for the last 4 months for I think that they've been doing a job that their employer asked them to do, didn't pay them any more money, and said, could you just do it for now? And then it's going to turn into a full-time thing. But now with the money faucet being turned on in their 10th house of career and public standing, it's time to get paid for that, and to make enough noise to where you go, yeah, and I do want to be paid for that. I have, achieved my objective. I've done what you asked me to do, and now, so where's the money?
That's one of those things,
and they'll be able to.
It's one of those things where if you know Aries, you probably need to pass on that information so they know it is time to be assertive, right?
It is time to be assertive, and to give. And when you're presenting the case to the powers that be, you want to give them details about why you did everything that they asked you to do, and then some, and what the result was, how you ended up making your company money, or how you ended up through the fruits of your labor, through your actions, either saving your company money or making your company money or earning, basically, the bonus that they talked about. So it's a good time to be assertive as far as that goes. For Tauruses, again, I feel so bad for Tauruses. This is such tough energy for them. No. And anybody that watched Gronk play yesterday is saying the same thing, man. That was a tough day for them.
Yeah.
Mars is behind their sign. They don't have everything. Every time they try to do something, it just seems to backfire on them. It makes them just want to go, okay, I'm just going to stay here, and just cover up, kind of a deal. Although they shouldn't, because Jupiter is now in the 9th house of the law, so legal matters are going well for them. Educational matters go well for them. Important matters at a distance go well for them. Any kind of travel goes very well for them. The law's on their side. If they have any kind of legal things, I would press it because they're likely to win. So that's really not a bad thing. They just have to be careful. And it's not even shoot themselves in the foot. It's like the universe is shooting them in the foot. And even this morning, AJ Taurus, it wasn't her fault.
Yeah, the technical difficulties, right?
Struggled to get her on the air, It's sort of like, I don't even know what I need to do. My rising sign is Aries. You had a hard time even communicating with me. I was like, dude, we didn't even do anything.
I know. It's kind of crazy. Actually, I have an email question that involves a Taurus here.
What is it?
Looks like it says, good morning. I have been friends with a lady from my church for about 10 years now. I have fallen for her, and my birthday is 8/25/62. So he's a Virgo?
Okay. He's a Virgo.
And her birthday is 5/4/1967. That's the Taurus, right? Am I right on that one?
Yep, that's the Taurus.
All right, I thought so.
Ordinarily, Virgo and Taurus get along pretty well. Although this one in particular has the moon in Pisces, and it squares her Venus in Gemini, so there's a little bit of nutso stuff, a little bit of crazy in this girl.
Oh, okay, a little
and
dash.
A lot of guys like that.
Yeah,
just a little bit. And my concern with this is more along the lines of it's a Moon-Mars kind of thing. I'm not so sure they can live together, but I think that there is a definite physical attraction that cannot be denied and absolutely worth giving it a shot.
So he met her in church.
I just wouldn't let her move in with me right away.
He met her in church.
They're the worst ones. They're definitely, they're the worst ones.
You might think she's nice and, conservative and this and that.
Yeah,
and
They are.
And then you get her.
Yeah, I know. I like that.
She might be a little freaky.
Got a little bit of the crazy there, but my friend Andy loves them. Says they're the most fun. So I don't know. I would definitely give it a shot.
All right, there you go. Question answered.
And more importantly, I think that they will.
All right.
I think short term it'll be great. I'm not so sure long term it'll be. And they live happily ever after. I'm not so sure about that, but he's okay with taking care of people, so why not?
All right, there you go.
Yeah, kind of all for it. For Geminis, this energy, Virgo for Gemini is their 4th house of home. And for them, they really want to try and clarify things at home. They want to try and solidify their base of operations. They want to make sure they have a solid foundation to operate out of. And that's not normally good for them to get their professional aspirations made. It's more along the lines of take care of things at home, because Aries is their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. Geminis are finding out that their male friends are really not on their side. And that's a crummy thing if you're the president of the United States and a Gemini to find out.
Wow.
People you thought were, Mars and Aries was like, and it's going to be your friends and colleagues wielding the knife, not like strangers, but people, you thought were on your team. You find out, guess what? No, they're not. So that's very discouraging energy because that just started and it goes on until after the 15th of November. So, and it's going to bring out a lot of the Gemini's fears. And I don't know whether they're founded or not, only time will tell. But you really got to take a close look at the people you think are on your team and make sure that they still are. And if they aren't, you need to do something about it right away.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting
kind of scary
there.
stuff for Geminis. I think of all the signs, they really are. I wish you would, because,
sit out with Star Goddess for a second.
Yeah, just for a second, just for a minute or two. So.
But you do. So you would do. You would do the Virgo thing. You tell him how to make himself better. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I would. That's exactly what I would do. Here's how you improve it.
With the Virgo
and he would,
trait.
of course, ignore me, too. Yeah. I wouldn't be the first one to ignore me. How long have I been talking about the Bucks now? 30 years?
Yeah,
for 30 years, I've been going on and on and on about, can we please get an offensive line? Can we please get somebody to stop our quarterback, from getting clobbered all the time? And still they ignore me. So I don't see why the president would be any different. For Cancers, this energy for them, Virgo is their third house of day-to-day living, short distance, short duration travel. So they are out and about trying to rehabilitate their day-to-day living. The challenge for Cancers is professional. And the knives are out professionally. They've known this for about 2 months now. And all of a sudden, the knives are back on the sheets. And the Cancers, I don't want them to think, oh, boy, that almost happened. What they need to realize is that the knives have been put back on their sheets till after the 15th of November. And if I was a Cancer, I would be using this time to look around to find maybe a better opportunity professionally. If I was not feeling the love professionally and it seemed to back off a little bit now, I would use this time to find another job, because it's always easier to find a job when you already have one. And Cancers also, with Jupiter in their 7th house of partners, they are older partners that are more than willing to help the Cancer, but the Cancer needs to ask for that help. And the trouble with being a Cancer is they're represented by a creature that has no vocal cords. And so they think, well, if you really love me, needed me, wanted me, cared about me, you know what I want, you know what I need, I don't have to tell you. In this case, Cancers, tell them, ask your friends for help, because they'd be more than willing to do it, but they need to know that you want their help. They're not going to just volunteer it the way a Virgo would.
Wow. Okay.
So that's the challenge with that, is professional challenges and looking for allies kind of a thing. So I don't know. And then for Leos, the last time we're going to talk about, once again, this is great energy for Leo. It's about how much money can I make? Virgo is Leo's 2nd house of money, so it's earned income. Capricorn is their 6th house of work, so it's earned income through a job that they already have. And Mars is in the 9th house, which means they can, legal matters go very well for them. They can hammer out good contracts, good negotiations. They have the upper hand in any negotiation that they're dealing with. Leos have now.
Well, and it's
so
contract
it's a very
time.
good time to be a Leo. Yeah. If it's contract time, you need to remind them just how good you are. And how well you've done.
By the way, I'm so good.
And how creative you are. Let me tell you something about me.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think, you can let the evidence speak for itself, kind of a deal.
There you
but
go.
you can really nail down a pretty good deal. I don't think you should sign it till after the 15th of November, but it's an excellent time to start negotiating, because the Leo still is looking very favorable. And I don't know what you say about Tom Brady. He still put 3 touchdowns on the board, so shut up. It's kind of the way I look at it,
Yeah, there you go.
34 points, nothing to sniff at.
The money faucet's always on for that guy. Yeah, thank you very much, Star Goddess. It's good to be back on the podcast. And, of course, AJ will be back tomorrow. And we will probably end up doing this. I know that coming in the next couple days here, people are going to want to know. So I have some help available for their lineups, fantasy lineups. So we'll give you a call about that as well.
My favorite thing on Fridays is Friday fantasy football. I love that more than anything. And that's what I need to know is, what players are you considering playing? I mean, I don't want to look down and go, okay, well, there's 32 quarterbacks. Who's going to have the best day?
Yeah.
But like we did last time, if it's a choice between Cam Newton and somebody else, I'm going to tell you who to pick.
Gotcha.
And I did good on that. I was really proud of myself.
If you want a little edge with the stars, Star got us here. And
That's
she
right.
does the podcast each Monday right here on the Crash and AJ blog at 98rock.com. Have a great week.